The locker room itself, thick with the heat of the oil-fed furnace blasting air throughout, smelled of the chlorine that permeated the place, the eucalyptus of the 2 steam baths, the sweat of those slumped in those baths, and the stubbornly pervasive waft of excrement, each fragrance unmistakable, the coalescence intimating to Jacob the terrible mysteries of adulthood. As for the men themselves, they were, almost to a person, with the notable exception of Jacob's father, thick, slow-moving, beleaguered. Carpeted with hair, they plodded the wood-slatted floor pallets deliberately, their morose cocks drooping from shags of haphazardly powdered curls. If there were other boys, eye contact was glancing, nor would they exchange words, even in those rare instances when the fathers encouraged it. For here among the men, in the heavy mist of their effusions, something sacred was being exposed, and though it was surely unclear how, matriculation into this grave fraternity was certain, and only then would its secrets be known. The boys sensed that they, too, like the naked figures lumbering among them, would one day be responsible for families, businesses, communities of their own. When Jacob's father reached into his satchel and produced not 1 pair of bathing trunks, but 2, Jacob sensed danger. "Put these on. You're swimming today." "I don't know how." "Which is why you'll do it." The sheer illogic of the interchange, especially to a 7-year-old, epitomized the indecipherable contradictions of adulthood that caused in Jacob the meekness that so frustrated his father. It was provisioned with both ambiguity and clarity, with blatant incoherence and inevitability. He would swim because he couldn't. Suffused with dread, he found a set of eyes among the penises floating by. They belonged to a blond boy maybe a year younger who'd witnessed the interchange, and did the rare favor of allowing Jacob's eyes to find a sympathetic place. Such connections were almost non-existent for Jacob. He did have a sister, undoubtedly at home with his mother gathering clothes for the Sunday wash, but she was 3 years older. Though much was expected of her, her own experiences were of such a dramatically different sort that while there was plenty of empathy between them, she had no sense of what it was like to be Isaac Rosenthal's only son. At school, Jacob performed well, but almost invisibly, his frailty so prodigious that he wasn't really worth the trouble of those boys just beginning to test the compulsion to hurt and destroy.